Hi everyone, I'm Jackie Blisson, and today we're going to be talking about aromas and flavors in wine. We don't actually give our noses much thought for the most part, but without our nose, we wouldn't be able to smell. And our sense of smell is more important than you might think. Why? First of all, because our ability to taste is highly dependent on our ability to smell. If you've ever had a bad head cold, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is because taste needs to be combined with smell for flavor to develop. Say what? Our taste buds can pick up 5 basic tastes: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami, which is kind of a meaty, savory flavor. Whereas our nose can pick up literally thousands of odors. We perceive these smells by smelling them and by tasting them. When we take a sip or a bite, molecules of the food or the beverage travel to the nasal cavity via a passage that connects the nose to the back of the throat. Signals are then sent up to the brain that transforms those basic tastes into flavors. This is the main reason that you'll see wine drinkers swirling wine and holding it in their mouth, because they're allowing the molecules to travel up to the nose to really enhance those flavors as much as possible. The processing of smell in the brain is related to the area of the brain called the limbic system that deals with emotion and with memory. When I was a kid, we used to spend our summers in the south of England. On the cliffs behind the house, there were tons of blackberry bushes, and we'd go blackberry picking, bring them home, and make the most delicious blackberry crumbles. Whenever I smell fresh or baked blackberries in wine, I'm almost guaranteed to love it because it triggers such a strong, happy memory for me. So what are aromas? How do they develop, and why are they different from one wine to another? An aroma is caused by one or more volatilized chemical compounds, generally in low concentrations that humans perceive by their sense of smell. Let's break that down. Remember how I told you that grape skins contain tannins? Well, they also contain aromatic compounds. Each individual grape variety, like Merlot or Malbec or Chardonnay, has a different set or mix of aromatic compounds occurring at higher or lower concentration levels. These compounds are generally odorless on the grape, but when you ferment them, the chemical reactions liberate the aromas, allowing us to smell them. The aromas that come from grape skins are called primary aromas. They tend to be quite fruity, sometimes floral, herbaceous. Think about black currant notes in Cabernet Sauvignon, or that sort of pungent grassiness of Sauvignon Blanc. But wait, there's more. Wine aromas can also come from the winemaking process, or they can develop over time as a wine ages. Oak aging, for example, can bring new aromas like vanilla or cedar or spice. Finally, as a wine ages, it evolves. Just like you and me, a couple more gray hairs here, a couple more wrinkles there. As a wine becomes more mature, those youthful, fruity primary notes give way to what we call tertiary notes. Think of things like honey or dried fruits, nutty aromas, leather, wet leaves. These are all examples of mature aromas. You may be wondering if your sense of smell or taste isn't as good as someone else's when they pick up an aroma that you haven't picked up. The answer to this is yes and no. Everybody's sensitivity to different tastes and smells is different. For example, a lot of Syrahs have a particularly distinctive peppery note, but apparently 1 in 5 people doesn't pick this up. You also have to factor in your familiarity with certain smells. If you've never smelled something before, you're not going to pick it up, or you're not going to realize that you've picked it up. The good news is that you can train your nose. So just like training to run a race, you can train your nose to pick up more aromas and to be more sensitive to them. The science here is a little conflicting though, because if you smell a particular aroma too much or at too high a concentration, you can actually become desensitized to it. It's all a question of finding a balance. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't be shy. Please share widely. Give me a like, write me a comment, or subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. And we'll see you next week. In the meantime, santé!